This is what we come out here and did this for.
Bring that little dog around here.
So that we could experience this. This makes all the wind and the cold and everything else worthwhile.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yes, sir.
Back channel bass fishing on the Susquehanna Flats. Hey, I'm Bob Murray. It's going to be a good one. Woo! I'm gonna fish you one of them, Bob.
Yes, sir. Good one.
Boy, come on me. Like, you know what? Woo!
Yes, sir.
Oh, get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Oh, that's a good fish, Bob. Oh. That's a good fish there, Bob.
Hey. There you go. So back channel bass fishing with my good buddy Carl Bunt. Carl, thanks for inviting me down here on the
Yes,
Susquehanna.
sir. Welcome. Thank you.
Look at that dog right there. Carl, let's just talk a little bit what we have here in the springtime. What are we doing?
In the springtime, we've got the fish are moving up, staging, getting ready to spawn. They're hungry. They've been a long, cold winter for them. Now they're ready to get their energy level back up, feed, get ready to spawn.
And they're going to spawn back up in these flats and these
They're going
creeks
to
and stuff
spawn
like
in
that?
some of these little cuts.
Uh-huh.
There's a little apartment cove right here. That's a major spawning area in this area. And down further to this back channel is something called Swan Creek, and that's one of your real major spawning areas in this area.
Look at that dog. All right, let's get this one back in the water. All right, we'll chuck in a new bait that you introduced me today. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, Bob, this is the chatterbait. This is the big buzz of the bass fishing community, tackle retail stores. It's a lure that's been out in existence now for a few years, but it's recently gotten some real good notoriety by some tournament anglers winning some tournaments and giving it credit. And it's in high demand. One of your first big task is to be able to find somebody that has them in stock or can get them for you. It's called the chatterbait, and it's made by a little company called Rad Lures.
What is it exactly?
Basically, it mimics a spinnerbait with a really high vibration and wobble. Also a crankbait. You vary the retrieve, how deep it runs, and when it hits the wood, it just it's got its own natural little way it bumps off of there. And you can fish it like a jig. And when you hop it up for the fall, and it gives all that vibration. So it's really like a spinnerbait, a crankbait, and a jig all in one. But I can't imagine any guy that's into fishing spinnerbaits that wouldn't want some of these in their tackle box, especially after one trip out.
Yeah.
And seeing what they do.
Well, the versatility is just the great thing. I mean, like you said, you can flip it like a jig, you can use it as a crankbait, or you can go with the spinnerbait thing. We're through weeds and brush and pads and everything else, and it really does a heck of a job.
I've been testing these and using them with my clients and seeing how they compare to other lures, and it's just it's been great. I've had clients call and try to order them while they're still in the boat with me. They're so excited about it. The only modification I've made to this, it comes with the little trailer, the plastic trailer. Everything comes in the package. The only modification I've done is I've put a spinnerbait trailer hook on there, and that's the way I rig my spinnerbait trailer hooks. I put the hook on there and then that little plastic keeper. That way, if they come out and slap it, this can pivot real freely, and it'll make a lot of difference between you missing a fish sometimes.
Yeah, in a tournament.
We're fishing cold front the second day of a major cold front today, and yesterday we had real good cloud cover and rain and stuff. Today we've got bluebird sky with the cold front, and it's kept us busy catching fish.
That's it. I know I'm going to get another one.
All right, Bob, what we got here is we've got a shoreline that drops off with deep water close by. You can see the shoreline. It's real heavily rocky, so it's kind of a hard bottom. Got a lot of wood laydowns. There's wood between the boat and the shore that you can't see. And another thing you really can't see is there's grass down in there. It isn't a lot of fresh growing grass right now, but it's grass left over from last year. And when things get to growing, you'll have this grass grown coming up all around in the wood. They have a deep drop off into 20 foot of water or plus in certain areas of this back channel. So they have everything that they need. In this apartment cove, this is going to be one of your major spawning areas up in this area. And then down at the other end of the back channel, you have something called Swan Creek. And that is a very critical major spawning area for this whole Susquehanna.
You say
area.
back channel. There's two channels, I guess, and this is, I'm going to say this is the back channel, am I correct? But
yes,
what do you mean by back channel here on this one?
Well, over here we have the flats and a very small, narrow ditch that runs and gets you into the back of Tidings Park, Havre de Grace City Yacht Basin. Back over here, we have one of the Susquehanna Flats areas, and this is one of your major flats where the grass will come up with a largemouth like the habitat here. And where that boat's running over there and you got your channel markers, that's your main channel. That's a navigable channel maintained by the Coast Guard and DNR. On this side of the flats, you have this little channel that runs contoured with the shoreline back into Swan Creek. And just locally, for all the years I've been here, it's been known as the back channel.
There you go. But I tell you one thing, you got to get a good map because you can get stuck out there.
Yes, sir. If you come down here, it's well worth your time to hire a guide. And there's a few of us up here that are legally licensed to do it up here, and let them show you around. It's cheaper than messing up a prop or a lower unit.
That's true. All right, let's go catch some bass.
We've got this apartment cove here, Bob, and what it is just a beautiful little cove. On the right is a little bit deeper water than on the left. It's a little bit more shallow. The left has a little bit more wood cover for the fish to hold to. Back in the back you see a lot of wood. You got a couple of fresh stormwater drainage areas, pipes that come in back in the back. People used to put the floating docks here. Some of the people that lived in this apartment complex, they used to do a really neat job. They cared about it. They kept it real nice and clean. Just a beautiful little place. But this cove holds a lot of fish, especially during the spawn. This is a major spawning area here. It's real critical to their spawn, but it gets a lot of pressure. I've seen as many 8 to 10 boats in here at a time.
Time fishing. Well, how much water have we got in here? Is it just a big flat, or is it a dip, or what?
It pretty much is really a flat and like a little bit deeper channel over on this side off of those pipes where those floating docks would have been. The grass will get in here real thick. In the middle of the summer, it'll almost be, I've seen it sometimes where you can't even get in here with your trolling motor. It'll get really bad because you don't have the big boats coming in and out of here to help keep the grass cut up here in this little channel. This little channel right here, we're only in 2.5 foot of water right now.
Yeah, you think, oh my God, it's too. There's plenty of fish just sitting right all along in here. Just
right.
Now, are the fish? This is early spring. Are the fish moving up to spawn? Are they already in there now? I mean, we're down in Susquehanna here.
I haven't found any fish spawning right now. Mother Nature determines that, and we can have on Tidal River, we can have a big buffer window there when they start spawning from year to year. Water temperature's been real up and down. We're just now starting to get to 60. Today, right now, in mid-morning, we're at like 59. We were like 58 when we first started this morning. My opinion is we're not going to really see things really get going until we get a steady, consistent 60, 62, and then things are going to happen. Right now they're getting ready to spawn, and that's why those fish that we caught this morning were so active and hit so hard.